Jam! Hello again and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Monday Night Magic here on the MTGcast Network. This is Monday Night Magic number 611, and I am Chewie.
Yep, checks out. I am the first source.
Oh, good.
Seems legit.
So,
Citation provided.
I've had a headache since I woke up.
Is it a headache this big? Does it have Excedrin written all over it?
I mean, I took some naproxen. That hasn't helped.
Have you considered Nuprin? Little, yellow, different, better?
Hey, different is
Look,
good.
I can keep coming up with commercial jingles for, well, slogans for pain relievers if you want.
Have you tried
This-
Flintstone's chewables?
This is a show about marketing
Narcotics.
of over-the-counter medications, right? That's what I signed on for.
Right, that, yes.
And then we wonder why we didn't get a preview card. So,
We don't wonder.
so
we don't wonder.
yes, the first source is Squee,
I am here, and yes, he is Chewie.
and the over-the-counter medication marketing guy is Cluze.
Hey, I am Cluze, and yes, he is Squee.
Checks
Well-
out.
I'm glad that we're all in agreement.
Then we are decided.
I think, anyway. Hey,
So say we
reminder.
all.
Reminder to everyone that Global Series Jiang Yanggu and Mu Yanling comes out Friday. Don't forget, that's a thing. I know with all the other never-ending preview season, you might have forgotten. But hey, if you're interested in that, comes out Friday.
Friday the 22nd.
Yeah. So, Vegas.
What happens there stays there. Good night, everybody.
That was a good show.
Was it, though?
I mean, I think my favorite part about it was when we confirmed that you were Chewie.
I am.
That was a good part of the show.
Now we're a primary source for your Wikipedia article.
Hey,
Nice.
that's
I don't
right.
I don't have a Wikipedia page.
Give it an hour.
Nor does the Mana Pool. Nor, I don't think Monday Night Magic does. I don't bother to look, because, why would it?
What about MTG Cast? Is it?
Let's hope not. So, the GP Vegas happened this weekend, or, G's P's? GP's?
Jeez.
Grands
Grand-
Prixes? I forget
Grand
how
Prixes.
we decided to pluralize it, but let's go with, G's P's, Vegas's happened this weekend. There were two. So first there was one, and it was massive, and then there were three, and they were
Yes, and they were also massive.
they were not as massive, but they were pretty good. They were pretty
When
big.
you add them all together, man, it's a lot of people.
And now we have two, and there's still a lot of people, but less so. Total. As far as the main events go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start with the easy one. Grand Prix Las Vegas Dominaria Limited. Which I can't find the tournament results because I forgot how the website works. Here we go. They're not in order. Okay, so
I mean, why would they be?
like even the finish at the bottom isn't in order.
Keeps it interesting, right?
I guess. So it looks like really this really bothers me that they didn't bother to put the top 8 players in finish order.
Oh wow, that is really disconcerting.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
Okay, well Michael Burnett won.
Yeah, we're pretty sure these are in fact the top 8 players.
Pretty sure. Hang on, let me go check. Let me go check the other tournament. Those are in order. Okay, so it's just because it's limited and no one cares.
That could be the case.
Yeah. So Michael Burnett won. Second place was Austin Mowry, let's say.
Indeed.
I have no idea how to figure out who's in third and who's in fourth.
Okay, I found
Mark
I found the
Jacobson
place.
is in third.
Yeah, Mark Jacobson is in third. Andrew Cuneo in fourth.
But, okay.
Steve Rubin in fifth. Adam Fox in sixth. Trevor Gower. I'm going to say Gower. Trevor is in seventh.
Magical Trevor.
And Jose Daniel Garcia Rosas is in eighth.
Nice. Okay, so it looks like it's just seed order rather than who beat who. Got it.
In terms of the listing in here, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pulling for the limited final standings, or at least that's where I was.
Yeah, that's where I was too. But it seems to list their points, their pro points, and their prize money, which I think would only be determined after we actually held the top 8.
Yeah,
So,
correct.
If it didn't have prize money, I would assume that it was just the seating end, but it has that, so there you go.
If we're wrong about any of that, it's some like linear superposition of those names.
If we're wrong, blame Wizards, because they should post better.
Yeah, because it's their fault.
Not Wizards of the Coast. Wizards,
No, Wizards.
in general.
A wizard did it. It's their fault.
Yes, correct.
I'm flashing back to old episodes of School of Movies. A wizard did it. Special blood.
Was that specifically in Darkness?
What?
Special blood, as in Into Darkness? Star Trek?
Actually, yeah, I think they did rant out pretty heavily in that episode.
It was pretty bad, so all right then.
But they have ranted about it in many movies that involve special blood.
I mean, it is a popular trope.
Yeah.
Even Heroes used it badly. Who wants to talk about modern?
Wait, Heroes the show?
Yeah. That's a fair response.
They had such promise, and then nope.
Then season 2 and on, yeah. That's an odds and ends conversation for later.
Wait, this isn't the odds and ends?
No, people can actually hear you right now. You're responsible for your actions.
Oh no. Wait, no. Recent events in this country have proven to me that no one's responsible for their actions ever.
Also an odds and ends conversation.
All right, where were we? That was limited?
That was limited. By the way, there were 2,079 people in the limited event, which is not a small number.
No, it's not.
If you want a bigger number, let's go to modern, where there were 2,778. Damn.
Not a small number.
Not at all.
2,778. Nope, that is not quite the largest modern GP to take place in Vegas.
Hey, do you still have that spreadsheet up?
No, but I wrote the numbers down on this piece of paper.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, I can just tell you.
I love that you transcribed a spreadsheet to a piece of paper.
I did. Well, I was going to do some math with some of them, and I wanted to use this pen, so...
Computers can do all of those things, Cluze. You control telescopes, you know this.
Yeah, but my computer can't use this pen.
That sounds like your computer shortcoming, but carry on.
Yeah, well, I'd need a dongle. I mean, it's a Mac. It needs a dongle for everything.
Oh, you're going to run out of ports before you get there, buddy.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm sorry, what number did you want? Was it that the 2017 Modern was 3,410 players? Is that what you wanted to know?
Wow, that's a lot of people.
That is, but this time around we had slightly fewer with 2,778.
Actually, no, I wanted to find the number in that big-ass Modern event that I went to.
Are you holding out for a hero?
Let's say yes, just to, shut you up. Okay.
Just to move things along. I get that a lot.
So it was after Charlotte. Where the hell was it?
Wait, I thought Charlotte was the really big one.
That was limited.
Modern? Oh, that was limited. Okay.
Hang on. My problem is that I don't remember
The
years.
passage of time?
Like, I have no... When I joke and say I have no concept of the passage of time, it is actually not a joke at all.
He really does not.
It was
Pittsburgh?
Richmond from 2014. I was
Richmond.
there, and it was
Gotcha.
4,303 playing Modern.
Googly moogly.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So yeah, we still haven't passed one of those with a Modern event in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, okay. So yeah, Matt Nass took the whole thing down, playing his signature now, Krark Clan Ironworks combo deck, which gets more and more ridiculous the more I look at it. In second place, Yuri Ramsey was playing Mono Green Tron. I think these deck lists are in order. Juza, Friedman, yeah, they are. Okay. So Martin Juza in third place is running Humans.
And if I'm not mistaken, this was something like his 30th GP top 8, and he now has more GP top 8s than anyone else. I believe I saw something to that effect.
That would not surprise me. The website is broken, and I can't...
I was about to comment on that. Yeah, I can't see the deck list past the first one.
Okay, if we go back to the coverage, there'll be a link to the deck lists.
Oh, hey, look, the
There we
website's broken, and I can't see the deck list past the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, to credit, the new drop menu top navigation's pretty snazzy. I just wish they didn't break everything else in the process.
Yeah.
Website updates.
Okay, here we go. Martin chooses human deck. Wow, he's running a Dark Confidant in there.
That's pretty human.
It's not a thing that I remember seeing much of in the main.
No, just acknowledging that it is in fact a human.
It's pretty good card.
That's what I hear.
It's even based on a human.
In fourth place, Ben Friedman was playing Grixis Death Shadow. Which, yep, that's definitely what that is. Okay.
It totally looks that way.
In fifth place, scroll, Luke Renaud is playing Bant Company. I can't deny it.
I'm not contributing to that one.
One judge's familiar.
I can't, I don't actually remember how the song goes. Anyway.
Man,
Till the day you die,
a whole bunch of these mouse over cards are not working, by the way.
In what?
The Bant Company deck. At least it isn't for me. Courser of Crufex, can't see it. Devoted Druid, can't see it.
Court of
Dust
Calling,
Watcher
Collective
Critter.
Company, not popping up.
Eternal Witness, though, totally there.
Yeah, Noble Hierarch is the next one, right?
Yep, that's exactly what's going on for me.
Okay, so the Wizards website is having issues at the moment. But, that shouldn't surprise anyone. Let's see. In sixth place, Eli
Are we all the way up to
Cassis-
six?
Yeah.
Wow.
Aren't we?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah.
You're in charge of this.
Eli Cassis is running. What is he running? Oh, another Cart Clan Ironworks deck. Except he's got Emrakul in it.
The Eon's Torn.
And the Antiquities War. Ooh.
That's different.
Yeah, that's a different thing, using the engine that Matt Nass has built here to do horrible things.
I mean, it's still a deck of artifacts.
Nice. Who's Max Mick is running Mono Green Tron. And finally, Patrick Tierney is running Jeskai Control. What's missing? Oh, Teferi. There he is. Okay.
All right, so this was modern, right?
Yes.
Let me just check something here.
That's probably not a good idea, Cluze.
No.
I also may or may not have hiccups all of a sudden.
No.
Are you counting Jaces?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
How'd
you
you
can
know?
just SCU. Yeah, there are none.
Yeah, and there aren't any blood braids here either, are there?
No.
Those two cards are going to break modern.
They're going to completely destroy modern.
Unban those. I really worry that modern will not survive unbanning those two cards.
I love it.
I've given up on Jace showing up where he's supposed to. That's just, life following story.
Zing. All right, let's move on. Let's take a look at what's past the top 8. There's more Clan Ironworks, a Hollow One deck. Joe Lissette is on Mono Green Tron. Here's another Devoted Company deck. Mono Green Tron, Mono Green Tron, Mono Green Tron, Humans. And that was your top 16. Oh.
Well, there you go then.
Lots of Tron. What did we have in the top 8? How many different things?
8. We had 8.
No. How many different things?
Oh.
I think we had 6? Nope.
6. But let's take a quick look.
There are 2 Trons.
Ironworks was repeated, and Tron was repeated.
Yeah. So 6 different decks in the top 8.
Well, so modern's looking pretty good.
But then when you get out of that, there were, like I said, there were a lot of Mono Green Trons in the top 16. Let's see. 17th to 32nd, Pyromancer, Hollow One, Humans, Morkrart Clan, Thopter Sword. What?
I wish it was actually an object in the game. You just equip a Thopter Sword. It'd be like Dancing Sword or something where it attacks as a 1/1 with flying, or you could equip it. It'd be pretty awesome.
Let's see. A Thopter Sword would probably give the creature flying and +1/+1.
No, I think it would just give the equipped creature like +1/+1, or if it's unequipped, it would just be flying 1/1. And then you'd have like 0 ability to unequip it or something, so it would just pop off and go do its own thing.
Okay, let's see. Hollow One humans, Mardu Pyromancer, more Krark clan. This Shaheen Sarani's running the version with Emrakul and Antiquities War. That wait, who was running that? That was Eli Cassis. Okay. More humans. Tron. What flavor Tron is this? This is mono green. Okay. Esper Gifts. That's different. More humans. Red green Tron. More humans, and that's your top 32.
Popular deck.
So humans, Tron. Matt Nass has gotten lots of people to jump on the Ironworks train.
Seems like a good train to be on.
Yeah. So Matt Nass, by the way, just while we're on him, his record in single modern events, at least his last 3 individual modern events, is 36-6. It's his second straight win at an individual modern GP. Second straight. I have to ask, is it the shoes?
It must be the pretzels.
I mean, if he gets a third straight win, he's actually on fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom shakalaka.
I really wish I could make Tarzan noises.
I did a quick check here, and in the top 32 decks of this event, there are 0 copies of Bloodbraid Elf and 1 copy of Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Really?
Yeah.
Legend rules rough.
That Jace is in the 29th place Esper Gifts deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I find that to be crazy.
Wait, did you check 9th through 16th too?
I did, yeah.
Oh my god. Yep. Breaking the format. We're going to keep rubbing that in because we called it.
That might have been a thing we did, yes.
And we said Modern will be fine with Jace, and a bunch of the pundits and pros who get paid to write articles, we do this for free, in order to draw views to their articles. I really do believe, in some cases, that was it. We're calling doom and gloom and end of the format, and they still got paid and we didn't. So maybe they win.
I think they're still ahead then.
Yeah.
I think they are. And to be clear, the pundits were not responding to us because they don't listen to us, so...
Nope. Oh well. So that was the main events at GP Las Vegas. But there's plenty more going on here.
Oh yeah.
Vegas was a huge deal. We even had a wedding at this one, man.
Yeah, there was.
Where Reed Duke walked the bride down the aisle. There was a reading from the comp rules, the reading of the comp rules for Soul Bond.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, and this took place under the, is that an Ajani statue? Who is that? I can't tell. All these pictures, it's very small. And then, well, it's very large and in the background.
That might be an Elspeth. Like, who is a shield?
No, I don't think it's an Elspeth.
Or maybe just an angel.
I saw this statue at the very beginning of the coverage of GP Vegas. There was a tweet about this statue.
I'm looking at the tweet now. And
oh, okay.
Here. Dump it in here first, and then the show notes. Click through there. It's in that gallery.
What? No, not that tweet. He's talking about a different tweet.
No, I'm talking about a different tweet where they showed the entire statue, and they're like, "This is it was the first time that statue had been taken to an event since something a long time ago." That's the best I can tell you.
Oh, well then you can ignore that link.
Yeah, give me a minute. I'll track it down. I think it was either Tayback or Forsyth who tweeted that, so I'll return.
Fair enough. The Magic Pro Tour Twitter account was on fire. I'm still scrolling, and I'm only at the 15th. Okay, now we're back to GP. Okay, so it wasn't the Magic Pro Tour account. But anyway.
Okay, you guys carry it.
Oh, I found it.
Oh.
Yeah?
It's Sarah Angel.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, let me get the link for that. Because Twitter is dumb and doesn't make this easy.
Now I can see, yeah. Before you even send the link, I can see the full statue in my head now.
There. I'll dump it in the notes, too.
Yep,
yes.
That's the one.
Yeah, there we go. Sincere apologies to everyone who has been yelling out loud. It's Sarah Angel. It's Sarah Angel. I'm sorry we did not recognize the one leg we could see.
I was pretty close with Elspeth.
What if they're the same person?
Dun dun dun. Anyway.
I mean, that would be a twist.
Yeah, that's a Shyamalan level twist right there. But anyway, yeah, so there was a wedding.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I think the really biggest thing was the beta draft.
Yes.
It was a Beta Rochester Draft.
It was.
And I think the draft itself was probably the most interesting thing, just because of the cards that were opened.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me, Chewie, how does a Rochester Draft work for those in the audience who have never done one of those?
I have no idea. I've never done a Rochester Draft.
Wait, I thought, no, you did a Winston Draft.
Yeah, Winston and Winchester are two-player drafts.
Okay.
One booster is opened at a time instead of every player opening his or her pack. 15 cards are laid out on the table, and players are given about 20 seconds to review their choices. After that, players take turns picking one card at a time to build their decks. The greatest difference between Booster Draft and Rochester formats is the amount of information available to the players. Players are aware of the cards their opponent's deck and perhaps able to handle them better. So there you go. I made a point of looking it up so that I didn't get something wrong and get corrected.
Nice. And yeah, Rochester Drafts have, for the most part, gone away at big events because they take so damn long to actually do the draft because, like Bill said, one pack is opened at a time, and then everyone drafts from it.
At least it's not a rotisserie draft. That took forever. It's a 4.5-hour draft.
Sounds terrible.
It was.
But yeah, they opened packs of beta, and some of the standouts were a Mox Emerald, a Time Vault, a Time Walk, an Underground Sea, I seem to remember a Scrubland, and a Plateau?
Yes, that sounds right.
Like, Twitter was losing its mind over this. I was not watching the coverage, just because.
Yeah.
It is my understanding that even the games, while mostly boring because they were limited beta drafts,
yeah,
had some insane moments. Like the epic Circle of Protection Red and Orcish Artillery combo. And, like, Guardian Angel stopping a lethal fireball. Stuff like that.
Did banding come up?
Yes, banding did come up a couple times. There was even... Oh, I saw Kibler reply to a tweet about this. There was some discussion over what happens when two creatures with banding meet in combat, and after a few minutes of trying to talk it over, they decided not to attack.
That's fair.
Which I found hilarious.
This thing we want to do is too complicated. Your go.
Banding is one of those mechanics where if you actually understand it, it's really powerful, but you still don't play it because you don't want to explain it every time you use it.
Pretty much. So there were 8 qualifying tournaments, and everyone who won a qualifying tournament obviously made it here, so it's pretty awesome. It kind of bothers me that here in the top story section, it doesn't actually say who won.
That was Tim Rivera, I believe, was the winner of the beta draft.
Okay.
That comes via a tweet from Magic Pro Tour.
Oh, good, because it's certainly not here in the in the coverage story here. Good job.
It is vital that all information be spread across as many different sources as possible.
Did anyone see how many basic lands were opened?
Like an ass load, because there were multiple.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you've ever known anyone who's spent a bunch of money on early Magic products, they'll tell you there's a lot of basic lands in early Magic product.
Yep, my wife was saying she wished instead of it being a beta draft that it was beta sealed, and that they had to play it the way you originally played sealed, which is you only got to play with the lands you opened.
Oh dear God.
Ew.
Yep.
Ew.
There you go.
So yeah, the other. Are we good on the beta draft? By the way.
Yeah,
I believe so.
I think so.
I want to look this up and actually watch some of it because I bet it was insane. Like basalt monoliths everywhere and all of that. And there is one more thing that happened in and around GP Vegas that is not happy. Well, not really. So after leaving SCGCon, prominent Magic YouTuber and community member, an all-around positive guy, Wedge, he left SCGCon, went to Vegas. He was going to be there in Vegas doing the spell slinging thing the whole time. Before he got to the event, he actually had major problems. He couldn't feel his legs, and he was in and out of consciousness. They took him to the hospital, and it turned out he had 2 herniated discs that were causing him severe pain and nerve damage and all of that good stuff, which is not good stuff, mind you. And yeah, because life is inherently cruel, that's how it works. I know that Wedge has been looking forward to going to Grand Prix Vegas for, well, basically ever. And then this crap happens before he even gets to the venue. So ain't that a bitch. But he had emergency surgery. Everything is fine. He's coming along nicely. And a GoFundMe was set up because if I understand correctly, he doesn't have health insurance.
Correct.
Which, I feel him there. But a GoFundMe was set up and the community rallied around him, and that is amazing. And it really sucks this has to happen to just one of the most positive members of the community in the, as I put it on Twitter, the increasingly horrible Magic community. Wedge is one of the bright spots. And so it's really terrible that this had to happen to him, but at least the community rose up as one and helped him out. So, yeah. We hope Wedge is doing well. We also hope Wedge learns to sit his ass down and not worry about making new videos for a little while.
Yeah, I think he deserves some time off here.
They'll be fine. It'll be alright.
You see, we say that, but when he gets a preview card, he shows it off by walking. So...
yeah, that was a nice touch.
Maybe he'll sit down and stop making videos. Immediately post video of himself walking and then post the preview card.
So that takes us into the other thing, which is Core Set 2019.
Yay, core sets.
Seriously though, Wedge, get better. Take some time off, for God's sake. But yeah, Core Set 2019 had lots of hype? Not really? I don't know.
I would say excitement, not hype.
Sure.
Like, I think the idea of going off of something as hyped up as, Dominaria, and with Ravnica around the corner, like, I thought the core set was actually just going to be, like, the hype break. So, that's apparently not how it's going down. You will always be hyped until the end of time.
I was going to say, yeah, never-ending preview season never ends, so they got to keep you up and ready for it. But lots of cards were previewed at the event, or during the event, or whatever. I don't know.
Over the weekend.
All of the Planeswalker decks, because they're doing 5 Planeswalker decks, 1 for each color this time because core sets, they're redefining it as being more for new players. But we'll get into that more in a second. But the 5 Planeswalker decks, or Planeswalkers, for the Planeswalker decks were revealed. I haven't seen them because they're Planeswalkers, so I don't really care, but...
They do exist.
I mean, I'm just being honest.
No,
yeah, they
cool,
seldom matter from the standpoint of this card's going to break standard, which is what people get hyped about. But there are 5 new Planeswalkers to enter circulation.
Yeah. So we have a link to the Planeswalker deck lists, and lots of pictures of cards that are in them, I guess?
But not the new ones.
But not the new ones. No, some of these are new. Like Skyscanner is new, isn't it?
Oh, no. I mean, like, so you get to the page, and you get all of these new cards at the top, and then you scroll down, like, I want to see who the Planeswalkers are and what they do. Those don't work.
Well, yeah, because these deck lists pull from Gather, and they're not in Gather yet.
But they didn't post those with it, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and they're not in the card image gallery because they're not technically in the... Well, they're technically in the set, but they're not in the card image gallery.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen an article about them.
Nor have I.
So, I guess if you want to know what to do, hit the internet, because I know that they were in tweets and everything. So hit social media and find them, I guess, because they're not here. Granted, by the time we post this, it'll probably be up.
I'm sure it will be.
And we will look like idiots, but...
No, we're giving you a timestamp that right now they are not there. So
yeah.
This is what the world was like in the past when this was recorded.
They have, however, made a new card that I'm actually gonna say it may be my favorite blue card ever. Which that's not really a high bar necessarily.
Yeah,
but
I thought your favorite blue card was that Delver you set on fire in front of somebody.
That never happened. They made a Scholar of Stars, and I like that. But did it have to be blue?
Yes.
I was going to say with that name, yeah, it kind of did.
Really
all of those words correspond to blue. Even of. Yeah, totally of.
Totally. I guess that's a neat card. If you have a telescope, then you get knowledge.
Yeah, they finally made an astronomer, and it's blue.
I can't think of what color you think an astronomer would be that isn't blue.
I just wanted it to be anything but blue. We could have made it white. That would have been fine.
No, they'd use the telescope to look at angels, Cluze.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Not an astronomer. One of these days, you're going to have to come to terms with the fact that in real life, you are blue.
It depends on where the angels are. If they're in space, that's fine.
That would be a cool set.
If they're in the atmosphere, then it's meteorology.
Oh my god. So as you can tell, Core Set 2019 previews are going, because we have Scholar of Stars. There's also quite possibly my favorite named card ever, Thud.
It's a good one.
It does pretty much explain what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, it's fling, but sorcery speed. But it's called Thud, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, like, I wish that Thud were an instant that you could cast for free if you just had a sorcery spell resolve. So that could be like Lightning Bolt Thud, because that would be the thing getting shocked and falling to the ground. But I understand them not designing that card.
Lord. But I don't actually know what else to say about Core Set 2019 as far as the cards.
Do you want to talk about Nikki B?
Yeah, we could talk about that.
Oh yeah, I guess we could talk about Nikki B.
It's all big.
I actually just read this during the odds and ends for the first time because I wasn't paying attention over the weekend. So Nicol Bolas is back because this core set is apparently mostly going to involve Nicol Bolas and his backstory, which is why he's all over the packaging.
Yeah, it's the most Nicol Bolas core set since that one that was about Nicol Bolas.
I don't remember which one that was, though.
It's like 2012, I think. It's the one that had the Burger King crowns.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh yeah, Burger King crowns. But yeah, this shows, I think this is supposed to be a young Nicol. Well, it is, because he's a creature.
Yeah, it's totally... Okay, so you guys haven't read the official story, like part 1 for the core set. I did. It's been a couple of days, I think, since I read it. But okay, so in it, a bunch of dragons are... Do you remember back on Tarkir when there was that like dragon storm that like just dropped dragons out? Do you remember that?
You mean the way Tarkir has always been?
Yeah. It was that, but what was dropping out were basically all of the elder dragons, including Nicol Bolas and Ugin, who kind of dropped out at the same time. They're twins. Let's say two sides of the same coin. I don't know. But they popped out. They are totally creatures, at least at this point in the story. Nicol Bolas is not yet a plane. He hasn't always, regardless of what he wants you to believe, he hasn't always been a planeswalker.
Yeah, I have proof of that, because I have an original, well, it's a Chronicles reprint, Nicol Bolas from back in the day. He was originally just a 7/7 with a really evil ability.
He was the one that people remembered.
Yeah.
Which is why he's now the main villain.
So is that it, Cluze?
Yeah, I didn't want to go into more details so that people could go and read it themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was really good.
It depends on who you ask. There there are folks who are like really deep into Magic lore who are like, this like totally rewrites a bunch of crap, and I hate it, and I hate you, and I hate everything.
Yeah, they probably hate Marvel movies too. Don't worry about them. So yeah, carry on with reading Nicol Bolas. This is the ice cream side of the card. Spoiler alert, there's an ice cream side of the card.
Wow, that is ice cream, isn't it?
Yep.
Why is that ice cream?
Because it's delicious.
Huh, so yeah, Nicol Bolas the Ravager. For 1, a blue, a black, and a red. 4 mana. He is a 4/4 Elder Dragon with flying. When he enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. Sounds good. And then for 4, a blue, a black, and a red, you exile him and then return him to the battlefield transformed. But only when you could cast a sorcery. And yeah, the upper symbol that shows that it's the front face of the card, it definitely looks like ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what all of the pre-Spark Planeswalkers look like, if I recall correctly.
Really? Okay, well, someone else read
Yep.
the pitchfork side.
Okay, so having transformed away from the ice cream side, this is the don't step on it side. Nicol Bolas the Arisen, still a mythic. Turns out the odds do not change when you flip the card over. 7 loyalty Planeswalker Bolas, +2, draw 2 cards.
Damn.
I mean, you just paid 7 mana on top of 4 mana. You earned it. -3, Nicol Bolas the Arisen deals 10 damage to target creature or player. Ow.
Not what that says.
Is that not what that says?
Nope.
No.
It's how I read it the first time I saw it, but no.
Jesus.
Nicol Bolas the Arisen deals 10 damage to target creature or planeswalker.
Big
Yeah,
difference.
You
Very
said
different.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realized I didn't realize I said player, and that's why I was confused when you called me out on it. You are correct. Yeah, that is very different. Otherwise, the game is probably over at this point.
Yeah, probably.
Thank you for calling me out on that. -4. Put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control.
And that's any graveyard. Doesn't have to be yours.
Yes.
I would also like to point out that you can flip him and then smash something and then next turn gain control of it without having to plus at any point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally can.
So that's important.
Yep. But wait, he's got another ability.
What?
Yeah, he's one of those weird 4 ability planeswalkers. -12. Exile all but the bottom card of target player's library.
And now we know why they all say random order.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you remember last week when we talked all about that random order, bottom of the library thing? Yeah, this is... Huh.
There you go.
Nicol Bolas ends games. Tell me, gentlemen, can you look very carefully at the color identity indicator there, the color indicator on the back side of Nicol Bolas?
Yes.
Yeah.
What colors do you see there?
I think it's supposed to be black, blue, red.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be black, blue, red, but I swear, at least in this image, it looks like black, red, green.
Oh. I just see black, blue, and a void, which I assume is supposed to be black.
I see the blue on my computer screen, but I could completely see how that could become green on a different monitor.
Yeah,
I could also see how the world of colorblind would be confused by that, but thankfully we have the symbols on the front that tell you what colors he's supposed to be. Granted, that's not a fair way to treat the color indicator because that won't apply in all situations, but yeah.
Is this our first 3-color color indicator?
Probably.
I don't recall.
I mean, I think Bolas is... Let's see, because they didn't have color indicators on the other planeswalkers, right?
Well, it's only because it's a backside.
Yeah, but I mean, like, none of
no,
those were multicolor, right?
I don't think any of them were multicolored, but they still had a color indicator. So, like, the one I happen to have up because it was the first one I found to check the ice cream cone to make sure it was on the old ones, and it totally is. Is Jace Vryn's Prodigy, Flippy Jace. Backside, Jace Telepath Unbound does have a blue color indicator.
Yeah, look at the backside of Arlen Cord. She has a red-green indicator.
Right, so that's 2. But is this our first 3?
I don't know, I'm scrolling.
Okay.
I did a search for transform.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
Thus far, I'm only seeing 1, 2, and 0.
Did you, by any chance, when you were doing that search, did you make it an advanced search and also search for and roll out?
No, because I wanted to actually get some results.
Oh.
Yeah, Ravager of the Fells.
You're telling me the
2
Autobots
colors.
can't get results?
No. The Autobots were notoriously bad at what they did.
He's not wrong.
Fair. Okay.
Oh, here's Ulrich. Yep, he's got a 2-color... yeah, this looks like our first 3-color back of the card indicator.
All right. Well, thank you.
No. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the other neat thing that's going on with this set is not only do we get a nice little baby Nikki B, but we also get new versions of all of the original Elder Dragon legends. Hey, you know that format that people play called Commander?
Yeah.
You know what its original name was?
No, what was it?
It was EDH, which I thought was a type of music, but it turns out that's EDM.
Oh, okay.
EDH, believe it or not, actually stands for Elder Dragon Highlander.
There can be only one.
Yeah, because the sequel didn't happen, so therefore there's only one.
What sequel?
Exactly.
Thanks, Arkin.
But yeah, the Elder Dragons were the big bad triple colored 7/7s. I think they were all 7/7s.
That sounds accurate.
From Legends. And they're all getting reimagined. So let me see if I can do this from memory. There's Nicol Bolas, there's Vivectus Asmodi, there's Palladium Moors, there's Arcade's Saboth. Who's it? Chromium. Bam! Got all 5.
There you go.
So yeah, we'll get to see all 5. Rosewater showed Palladium Moors in his article. Vivectus Asmodi is right here. So that's really neat.
Yep. Legendary creature, Elder Dragon.
Yeah. So, real quick, let's talk about the core set. I think I mentioned this on the show last week, I can't remember, that they said a full year ago that the core sets were going to be coming back, but not quite the same.
You did say that last week.
And yet we had gotten zero idea of what the hell that meant. Well, today,
That's correct.
Finally, Mark Rosewater put out an article explaining what the hell that meant after a full year of not saying a word. You know, thanks for that.
Look, they had like 12 preview seasons to get through, okay?
Yeah, clearly. So, that's pretty cool.
So would you like to explain what...
hang on, I have too many tabs open, I lost it. Okay, here it is. So, what they've decided is that these core sets are going to cater to newer players first and foremost. They're a chance for everyone who's, deeply enfranchised to just take a break from all the hype and chill a minute, because that's just a core set, whatever. There will be some neat cards, but its primary function is going to be for newer players.
Now, to be clear, that was a function of core sets prior to now, but WotC never really felt that it did a great job at that.
They also didn't focus on it as hard as they should have. They really used it as another set and a place to put stuff that Standard needed.
Right.
And, they put reminder text on the evergreen keywords, and the sets were slightly less complicated.
Yeah, prior to Magic 2010, they consisted entirely of reprints, and they didn't include most of the considered advanced mechanics. Like 10th edition was special because it had legendary cards in it. They didn't actually get gold cards until it might not have even been until they had the Nicol Bolas one that they got gold cards. Like, they were really simple.
But they they were really simple, but they didn't really cater to new players. They just backed up on the complexity a little bit.
Well, I think the idea was that new players had less to learn.
Yeah.
Because there weren't more things going on. And then when they started the Magic 20X D6 sets, they started putting like one extra mechanic in each time, and that was the gimmick of that core set.
Yeah. So now they're going to, first and foremost, the core sets are going to be built on getting newer players on board. Not like brand new players, but newer players. Their pathing, as they call it, is the welcome decks. You know, that free stuff that they hand out at events and whatnot. The thing that got Cluze hooked years ago.
That's the stuff, man. First one's free.
And then Planeswalker decks, and then the Deck Builder's Toolkit, and then Core's set.
Yep.
Sorry, core sets. I was just reading straight from Rosewater's article, which is a mistake.
Yeah, corsets. They're these things that you can wear. They have boning in them sometimes. They lift and separate.
They also make it impossible for you to bend down and pick stuff up, so...
Which, I mean, realistically is stupid.
So, there you go. They're going to do that. Now, they're going to have some story, because core sets before, up until Magic Origins, core sets didn't really have story. They were just cards. Magic Origins, it was just cards, but they filled in some backstories of the 5 Planeswalkers that were featured in that set, which was Gideon, Jace, Liliana, Chandra, Nissa. That's why we had the Flippy Jace and all the Flippy Planeswalkers that were creatures that then transformed into Planeswalkers, much like Nikki B here.
Yep.
So they've decided that the core sets are going to be more like Origins. They're not going to be story-centric, but they are going to have story in them to, like, back stuff up. Does that make sense?
They will thematically fill in some story and lore. Might be the best way to think of it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a thing that we didn't really talk about. Let's go talk about that.
Yeah. And those are the main things, actually, it turns out.
Well, there is at least one more thing well, 2 more things that I would say bear mentioning.
Okay.
The one is they still want the core set to fill the role of filling in cards or reprints that are needed by other formats.
Right.
But because of the way newer players versus older players, or I should say established players, because of the differing ways that those 2 groups of people really encounter sets like this, the kind of core set themes as far as playability goes and abilities and those sorts of things, those will take center stage in kind of the common and uncommon slots, because most of the cards that newer players are actually going to handle will be those cards. The rare and mythic slots will still have some allocation of these are cards that need to be reprinted for formats. See also, if you look at the core set 2019, I couldn't help but notice that Crucible of Worlds is being reprinted.
Yeah.
It's not currently in the official card image gallery, but it was previewed by an official source, I think today?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Mara's article. So
that's a card that is a little weird and doesn't quite fit in with the rest of the core set as it currently exists, if you just look at the cards that are out now. But it's a card that was needed for Modern. So here you go. Similarly, Scapeshift is in there. I doubt there's going to be a big Scapeshift theme to core set 2019, but it's a perfectly fine card that they can put in at Mythic. Most new players won't encounter it, but it will give a reprint that will help established Modern players get a hold of copies that they might need for making decks. So that's kind of cool. Okay. So it's kind of this, rather than the core set being this kind of catch-all, hey, what do we need for Standard and Modern right now? Let's make a set that's got those. Instead, let's flip that on its head and let's go, hey, what do new players need? Can we make a set that will work well for newer players who maybe don't have, years of experience with all these different themes and different mechanics? And then in kind of the gaps and cracks of that core set, we'll fill in some of those cards that we need to reprint. So it's kind of a flip.
Not only
the
the reprints that are needed for other formats, but just new cards needed for other formats. Like they said that there are more legendary creatures in this core set than you might think, because that puts them in standard for Brawl. Hey!
Yeah, look at that. And so I just want to read a little bit from Morrow's article just to explain. I think that this little section here kind of explains their change in philosophy of how the core set is going to work. So here, like, I don't know, 2/3 of the way through the article. So for core set 2019, Ethan Fleischer and his team started by building the Welcome decks and Planeswalker decks. They had the freedom to design or reprint whatever cards they needed to make an optimal experience. That right there is not something that happened before. The team then used the cards they made for those two products as a starting point around which to build Core Set 2019. Also, while building the set's themes, they were conscious of the Deck Builder's Toolkit, making sure that the themes they wove in would work with that product. That might not sound like a big change, but it's actually rather huge. Beginner products have notoriously always had to make do with whatever cards they had access to. And so there you go. They're doing it the other way now. Let's make a product for newer players, use whatever tools we need. If the tool doesn't exist, we'll make it. And so that's how some of these new cards, particularly at the common and uncommon slots, came to be.
So there you go. It's all a back-end change. Core sets, if you're just looking at them, look exactly the same. Which is all I could see, which is why I was like, there isn't a change. This is the same crap. Well, it's all a back-end, like, building block change rather than final product change. So, yeah. Neat. So, now what?
I mean, I appreciate the fact that they're putting cards for Modern in a pack that doesn't cost $10.
Yeah.
Like, this is a nicer approach than relying entirely on the master sets to add product for old things. Because even if you don't play those formats, if you open one of these while getting new stuff, you've now got trade fodder for things you actually want if you're playing on the store level. So, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at on that. Do you want to talk about Johnny?
Sure. I mean, I don't, but you can feel free to.
I'm going to make Cluze do it, because Cluze likes cats.
I do like cats. So we are referring to a Johnny,
Lion-O!
Adversary of Tyrants. Wonder if there'll be any tyrants in this set.
Let's find the Mega Condenser. I'm saying that too fast.
A Johnny, Adversary of Tyrants, costs 2 white. That's 4 mana for a 4 loyalty legendary planeswalker. A Johnny, he is, of course, mythic, because he's a kitty. +1. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. They don't have to be yours. I want to point that out. You could be playing Two-Headed Giant, put them on your partners. You could put them on your opponents. I think that's going to help, but there you go. -2. Return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That thing, not dead. Bring it back. Just like Nicol Bolas. Oh, but it's my graveyard and 2 or less. Just similar to kind of like Nicol Bolas. -7. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of your end step, create 3 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink.
More kitties!
That seems good. I've got cats. Now I have more cats.
As 1/1s, they are kittens.
I have more kittens. Look at all these kittens. I have a battlefield. Behold all of my kittens.
I appreciate that it's your end step, so you at least get them same turn.
Yes.
It's kind of an interesting contrast to the assassin tokens that Vraska created, because you get 3 of them that could trade with those, but you keep getting more of them. And presumably they're not going to kill your opponent immediately. But yeah, I just thought we'd mention that since we were going over Planeswalkers in the set. That's, I think, the only one of the new core color Planeswalkers we have, other than the one we went over last week, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we went over...
we hit Vivian last week.
Vivian Reed, the green Planeswalker.
Yeah. So keep an eye out or just listen to the mana pool, I guess. They'll probably talk about everything.
They will.
That is what we're going to do this week, yeah.
It sounds like you. But yeah, that was the only other card that really jumped out and caught my attention. I'm sure there's more. I have not been digging deeply. I
do want to call attention to one card real quick. Just because I just saw the art and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then I read the card and I'm like, wait, what? It's the Skeleton Archer in black. It's a 3/3 for 3 and a black, Skeleton Archer. Its creature type is Skeleton Archer. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. Huh. That just seems strange on a black creature.
It does. Although, what also seems strange, and you just pointed it out there, it looks like several of these cards have occupations. So, like, this is a Skeleton Archer, there's a Vampire Soldier next to it, there's a Skeleton Warrior earlier. We've brought occupations back. That's nice.
Did they go somewhere?
Well, you just don't always see them. Sometimes it's just human, or Drake, or sorcery. That's not a good one, never mind.
Well, I mean, if you'll scroll around, you'll see several just zombies, and here's a just vampire.
I don't think zombies get to have jobs.
We have a bird wizard again.
Sometimes they do.
But, I don't know, I think the Skeleton Archer, if it weren't a skeleton, then I would see this as being a red card. Because it's just pinging a thing. It's always weird to me when I see archers who don't have reach. Because that used to be their shtick. But it's not green, so it can do whatever it wants.
Yeah. I just was scrolling around and I saw the art and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then I read it and I'm like, that isn't... What? Is that right? That's weird.
I like to think that this means that he has exactly that one arrow that you see in the art. Like, I'm ignoring the actual quiver on his back. But, like, this is the one arrow. He can only shoot something once. After that, he has to go punch it.
I mean, I don't see anything sticking out of that quiver on his back, so... Oh, wait, no, there's a quiver on his back down there. I was looking at the weird... Oh, that's the... What is that weird red spot on his back?
That's his hero cape.
Oh, it's his hero cape. Okay. Now it all makes sense. Those are decorative. They're not really arrows. That's just a model. Like, it's just a quiver with arrows in it.
You'll note that the Skeleton Warrior also has one of those. It's like a weird sash thing. Like the reassembling skeleton above it. Maybe that's just what skeletons do here.
Maybe. Anyway.
Well, keep an eye out for future skeleton fashion updates.
Oh, God. Can we name the episode Skeleton Fashion Updates?
If you want to. I didn't think it was that good, but okay.
There's also the Death Baron is in here? Oh my god. Is this going to be Skeleton Tribal? I might die.
I wonder if the Death Baron serves under the Murder King. We have to fill out this hierarchy. I mean, we've already got Death Knights at some point too, don't we? It seems inevitable by this point in the game that we have a Death Knight.
I mean, Hearthstone didn't get them until last year.
I mean, maybe we don't.
Anyway, alright then, so that's...
We don't. This is so disappointing.
So that's Core Set 2019. Again, if you want to hear more about specific cards, we will be talking about those over on the Mana Pool this week. Yay. So, what else do we have? Oh, and by the way, a big thanks to Apple Cork for dropping a link to Rosewater's article in the shiny new Mana Pool subreddit, where I could see it and go, oh, hey, look at that, because I forget to check the Mothership's actual articles. So thanks, buddy. So what else we got, gentlemen? Anything else?
I don't think we really do.
Yeah, I don't think we do.
Like, the Magic Online front's kind of quiet. They did a blog update, but it's nothing funny, so we'll just tell people to keep an eye on it like normal. I think it was just another one of those things where Karn resets the game and something doesn't carry over properly. Like, I think if you reset the game with Karn now, you stay the Monarch or you have the City's Blessing or something stupid. That's obviously not intended.
Whoops.
But that's Magic Online for you. If you play Magic Online, you should go keep an eye on that on your own, because I'm only going to tell you when it's funny going forward.
Yeah, they update it every other week, so...
Yeah.
Cool.
I was informed, speaking of MTGO, I was informed via Twitter, Kiora's follower told me that someone won the Modern Magic Online PTQ using goblins. So,
yeah, Riser.
Riser did, yes.
And I looked at the picture of his deck, and it's not even anything new and crazy. It's just goblins and Burning Tree Emissary.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Maybe all the Magic Online players who would normally beat down goblins were in Vegas.
Now, I don't know what this tweet says because it's in Japanese, but I pushed the button that said translate, and it was translated from Japanese by Microsoft, and it reads the following.
Uh-oh.
It is guided by the god of the red single and PTQ after a long time. I am glad to be out to PT again.
Nice.
So, there you go. But yay, goblins!
It is infinite.
I think he's trying to say something about 1-drops.
Probably.
Because, like, look at this deck. Fanatical Firebrand, Foundry Street Denizen, Goblin Bushwhacker, Goblin Grenade, Goblin Guide, Grim Lavamancer, Legion Loyalist, Lightning Bolt. And at the top of the curve, you've got Burning Tree Emissary at 2, and Reckless Bushwhacker at 3, which you can cast for 2.
And Chain Whirler out of the board for 3.
Yeah, Chain Whirler's in the board.
But yeah, I like this a lot. That's good stuff. I think that Goblin Bushwhacker is an underrated card.
I don't think that's accurate.
Nope, I think it is.
Well, for people that know goblins, that's not accurate. For everyone else, yeah, you're probably right. All right then. Anything else, or should we wrap it up?
That's all I got.
I think that's it.
All right then. Let's wrap it up.
Okay. You can find me on Twitter at SqueeGoblinNabob. There's no I in Goblin because I'm pretty sure it's wandering around the crowd of Vegas still. It's possible Karn stepped on it because Karn is huge. Those photos are crazy.
Indeed.
But either way, I'm sure it'll be back in a week. Past that, you can find the rest of me and maybe also the I at Cosplay America in a week and a half because I will be there running events and stuff. Cosplay America is June 29 to July 1, Cary, North Carolina. If you like cosplay, you should go. If you just like hang out with creative people and stuff, you should go. It'll be fun. It's like a giant party. In terms of movie stuff, because I've started talking about that lately, I saw Incredibles 2 and I enjoyed it. So that was fun. Not in as much of a hurry to watch Jurassic World this week, but we'll see.
How did Incredibles 2 compare to the first one?
I think that in some areas it was better than the first one. I think overall, the first one will be considered a classic forever. I think Incredibles 2 will be seen as a very good second movie. Kind of like if you were comparing the first and second Toy Story movies. Like, the first one had the heavy lifting of introduce a world and a bunch of characters and all of that. And the second one, I think, did a much better job of balancing the cast. Because it would be understandable if you thought the first Incredibles movie was Mr. Incredible does stuff and everyone else sort of is there. Whereas this one does a much better job of balancing the cast. And I enjoyed that about it.
Nice.
Also, Jack actually gets to be in the movie. As opposed to the first movie where he was in that side short with the babysitter. And I really appreciate the fact that I did not hate the baby character in this movie.
Oh,
I put Jack about on the level of not quite Baby Groot, but approaching Baby Groot. So they understood what they were doing.
Sweet.
There's also an entertaining scene with a raccoon. You'll know it when you see it.
Oh yeah, Trash
I enjoyed
Panda.
that. Yeah, it was Trash Panda. It was even in the trash. But yeah, past that, like I know that this coming week we've got Jurassic World's newest movie, If You Want the Dinosaurs, and more Jeff Goldblum in your life. And I
Which,
think
let's be honest, doesn't everyone want more Jeff Goldblum in their life?
I mean, it seems inevitable. And also this weekend, I think, is when the new season of Luke Cage comes out on Netflix, if you need more of that in your life.
Oh.
And I like Luke Cage a lot, so I'll try to watch it, but we'll see how much time I have, because that convention's next week. But craziness ensues.
Nice.
And then Ant-Man and the Wasp's going to come out, and like everything's going to be crazy, and then I'm going to run out of movies, and then I won't talk about them for a while. But that's all my nonsense, so go Cluze.
Okay, I have a lot less nonsense because I don't get to go to movies. So I have not seen any of those movies, and as much as I hope I will see some of the ones that are coming out, I probably won't. But I'll probably get to watch the new season of Luke Cage. That'll probably happen. So I look forward to that. Hey, if you want to get a hold of me, your best bet's on Twitter. I'm at Lacluyze, spelled just like it is in the show notes. There's no I in Lacluyze.
Accurate.
That's it. There's no.
That is a factual statement.
Yeah, that one's just true. So hey, take it away, Chewie.
Hey, I'm Chewie, and I make internets. That's what I do. Yep. You can find me right here on Monday Night Magic or on the Mana Pool every week. That's at themanapool.com. You can find the YouTube stuff that I do over on youtube.com/themanapool, which at the moment is a lot of Slay the Spire, because I had some pretty good, for me, runs with the Silence and the Defect. The Silence, well, the run was cut into 3 pieces, because each run is like an hour and a half, give or take, so I cut them into 3 pieces for easy digestion on YouTube, and the Silent one is finished. The Defect run, the first episode, should go public the next day or two, something like that. And if you don't know Slay the Spire, it's a roguelike card-based deck-building game that's a turn-based RPG. It's really hard to describe, but it's really, really, really good. Like, it's really good. It's a lot of fun. It's very addicting. It's deeply strategic. It has the long-term strategy of how to build your deck. It's got moment-to-moment strategy, because you can see what your enemies are going to do next turn, and you have to play around that based on what's in your hand. And it's fun. It's good. So if you like hang on, let me try that again. If you like roguelikes and or deck building games, then you should probably check out the video series and see if it's the sort of thing you'd want to play. If you want to see me live stream stuff, that's on twitch.tv/themanapool, where I've been playing a lot of different stuff lately. Let's see, I've played some Hearthstone. I played some Hearthstone. I did an entire stream of trying to finish the Monster Hunt with the Time Tinker character. An entire stream. I was unsuccessful, spoiler alert, so there will be another entire stream devoted to trying to beat the damn thing with Toki. I hate her so much. There's, I played some Batman Arkham Asylum, because I love that game, and I really wanted to play something that I loved, that was chill, oddly enough, because beating the crap out of any number of nameless thugs and tracking down Riddler trophies is actually quite chill. So I've been Batman.
You're the Apex Predator.
Wait, what about Predator? What?
You're the Apex Predator in the Arkham games. You have all these scared people walking around in the dark, and you just swoop down and then tie them to gargoyles or whatever.
Yeah, and it's great. So once I finish I've done 2 streams of Arkham Asylum. Once I finish the story mode, I think I'm going to do some streaming of the challenge modes, which are also a lot of fun. Those are more like puzzles, though. Less like chill.
Yeah.
I've also played some Viscera Cleanup Detail with Steph, where Viscera Cleanup Detail is a very strange game. It's oddly zen. It's a first-person game where you wander around and clean up essentially a video game level after the protagonist has shot everything up and left. So you're cleaning up dead bodies. You're a janitor. You're cleaning up dead bodies and dead aliens and blood stains and ammo casings and explosive residue, and just trying to get everything into shape and clean up the aftermath. And it's like I said, it's oddly chill and very zen, and it's a lot of fun when you play with someone. So a while back, around Christmas, at least I assume it was around Christmas, Cap and I did some Viscera Cleanup Detail Santa's Rampage, which is where we're cleaning up at Santa's workshop after he went nuts and started blowing away elves and reindeer. It sounds really gruesome. That's only because it's really gruesome, but it really is a lot of fun. So I think
I really appreciated your adventures with explosives and flares.
Yeah. We were told that if you take a flare and hit it against the wall, it'll turn on, and then you can touch the TNT with the flare, and it will light the fuse. So I took great pleasure in lighting fuses and running away, and, hey, Steph, could you come down here? And watching her blow up. So, yeah, it is a lot of fun, and I think I'll probably grab her to do another stream of that, because it doesn't sound like it would be fun, but it really is, and I can't explain it. I mean, Bill was watching. Can you explain it?
I think it was like a point-and-click adventure game for the two of you because neither one of you knew what was around in the areas and you were just looking and finding stuff. And it was combining that with the fact that you have a goal, but you both also have no attention span towards that goal. And so between running around and like trying to get on stuff with Genie Lift and all that, and also your regular knocking over of the gore buckets that you're supposed to be cleaning up, results in comedy. That said, if I were playing, it would drive me nuts. But I can see how you would enjoy it. Like, I don't like it when my own home is messy. I would have a hard time playing a cleanup game for fun. But I can see the appeal.
Yeah. So is that everything I've... Oh, and we played some Killing Floor 2. Was that last night? Night before? Whenever that was. Because there's a new... That was Saturday. Okay, there's a new event going on, so we had a new map, and all of the zombies are...
Sky clowns.
Sky clowns, yeah. Dressed up in new skins, which are oddly terrifying. They're all like circus people. And it's terrifying when a clown runs up and grabs you.
Yeah, the whole thing where one of them sneaks up and they grab you and like turn you around while you're in the middle of stuff is normally scary when it's a zombie. When it's a zombie clown, it's a lot scarier. And when it's a zombie clown in slow motion, it's the scariest.
Oh god, you got grabbed during Zed time?
It was not pretty.
Oh.
You have time to think about your life and how you got in this situation.
I don't
you can
like
practically hear the record scratch.
I don't like it at all. But anyway, I'm gonna look at the Viscera cleanup detail and some of the Killing Floor to see if they will work on YouTube. I think maybe our first or second or maybe both runs on the airship level will probably make a good YouTube episode. So I downloaded those actually right before we started the stream. So I will be looking into that. Hopefully those will be going up on YouTube relatively soon. So yay, that's all YouTube and Twitch. It's all the Mana Pool. You can also find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We have a subreddit. It's all the Mana Pool. Everywhere is the Mana Pool. Including Patreon. So if you want to help support what I do with the two podcasts, and the videos, and the streams, and all of that, then you can check out patreon.com/themanapool, where you can get Mana Pool episodes and YouTube videos early. You can get the early stuff and the odds and ends, all the stuff recorded before and after both Monday Night Magic and the Mana Pool. It's uncensored and unfiltered, and is us just... I don't really know how to describe it. Sometimes it's us planning out what's going to be on the show. Sometimes it's us just discussing everything else. And sometimes it's just Cluze swearing, which makes it better.
This is true.
So, and you can, if you are so inclined and exceptionally generous, you can get the early stuff, the odds and ends, and become a Mana Pool lifeguard and get your name on the end slate for all the videos that go up each month, for each month that you support at that tier. There you go. And get a shout out on both podcasts. So to that end, I would like to thank the following exceptionally generous lifeguards: Kim Ho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Corey Cloutier, Paul David, Lance Delicious, Timu Hellas Haryu, John Morris, Stuart Slaw, PJ McMullen, Bosco Bertain, Casey, Nathan Hay, Danny Liao, Jason Doan, AJ Javieras, Cody Buckowing, Jake Jansons, Jason Kaus, Brian DeLucci, Stark Maximum, John Parker, Jimmy Scott, Violet Moon, Dan Holm, Bartle, Mike Miller-Burned, and the Beastfather, Aaron Goodwine. Thank you all so very much. I quite literally could not do it without you. And thanks to all of the patrons, no matter what tier you are. I really do appreciate the support. It means a lot. So, well, and it also means I can, keep doing this. So there's that. That's the big one. So is that everything? I think that's everything.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, so this has been Monday Night Magic number 611. And we apparently had nothing for 611 this week.
Nope.
Not an American phone number.
Weird. So, with that, we'll be done. Thank you all so very much for listening. And go play some Magic.